I'm engaged in my faith through three things primarily, right? Most of all, it's the relationship I have with Jesus. Um, but I engage in it with three things, which is prayer, the Bible, and signs. Prayer, I use prayer as my way as asking, as for speaking, talking to God. I use the Bible to listen. I purely listen. I don't put my comments on it. I just listen. I read, I take, I listen. I learn from it. And then signs. Signs can mean, it can differ to person, but me personally, right, no matter where I'm at, whether it's social media, it can be at a restaurant or whatever, I'll get these signs that kind of stick out to me. And I won't say nothing because I'm the only one that gets them. But it might be like I'll ask a question or I'll ask for something, and in return I get a sign, and it either makes me look into something inside the Bible, or maybe I'll follow up with a prayer, or sometimes I'll just straight up get my answer, and it'll click to me. So my engagement in faith, it helps me build a stronger me. It helps me build stronger relationships with other people. I get to set my boundaries, like, my morals, my faith. But more importantly, most importantly, it helps me build a strong relationship with Jesus. I've noticed the more prayers I do, the more I study the Bible, the more signs I see. Um, I I tend to see things more easier, um, more clear. It's almost like, right, you go through life and you have wisdom, you have knowledge, right? We all go through stuff that helps us learn, but it's very different in this case because you see things more clearly, you see things more peaceful, more for love and kindful. So um, that's what it does for me. It helps me think more clearer, better, um, not just for me, but for other people. What challenges do you face? Fear. I challenge fear. I and it's not a fear of somebody. It's not a fear of, I only fear God. That's it. But sometimes I have a fear of of uh of acting wrong, of giving wrong wisdom, wrong knowledge to people that ask or are in need. And a good example of this, right? There's a book I read. I think his name is Kyle Idleman, I think, and it's called Aha. Because everyone has an aha moment. It's like, aha, I got it. um, it was a student edition, I believe that. I read this book, and Kyle did a fantastic job um, going into the Bible, certain stories, and explaining how people have these aha moments. No matter what your situation, what situation you're in. Um, and on one of the chapters, which was my personal favorite because it spoke to me the most, was right there's a book in the Bible. There's a chapter where it talks about a father that has two sons. One son goes away. He parties. He goes out. He does his own thing. And the other son stays with his father. He helps his father out. He does everything for his father. He never disobeyed him. Nothing like that. Um, but when it came time for one of the son that went away to go party and do whatever he wanted, when he came back to the father reacted in a way with open arms and love. And he he didn't he didn't say, where were you? He didn't say, what were you doing? How could you do this to me? Why could you leave me? He simply embraced them with open arms. He gave them the best clothing. He said, kill the best, fattest lamb for him. We're gonna celebrate. We're gonna throw a party. My son is back. And that already is powerful. However, what's even more powerful, which is what Kyle, the author of this book, pointed out, was the other son, how he reacted, which was very distraught. He was not per se jealous, but more envious than anything. And he was mad that this son went to go party, did everything wrong, but he came back and everyone's showing him love and no one was showing him love. And I remember seeing that and reading that and thinking to myself, well, I've kind of been in that situation too. I didn't react as much as the son, but I definitely felt the same feelings. I felt the same feelings as that son. Like, how come he's getting the love and I didn't do nothing wrong? Well, right? I recommend you read that book, that book in the Bible, because it taught me a lot. And it opened up my eyes of how I should perceive things. And it's not about envious or nothing. That we should, no matter where you were, the reason you came back, or whatever the case may be, the point is you came back. You came back from where you were. And that should always be something we celebrate, because just like us, like me, right? We were out doing whatever and we came back, right? We went to Jesus. All of us, right? We all sinned. We came to Jesus. So we asked for forgiveness. We all were that son. We're all the same. What keeps you faithful? Results. Results is what keeps me faithful. And it's not just me. My loved ones, my siblings, my friends, they've all seen results of their own. They've all seen success. We've all been through hard times. And it's just results, because like I said, right, me personally, I didn't live an easy childhood just like many others. However, I was one of the lucky ones that took that, made it into knowledge, wisdom, and I decided to help other people with what I know, what I can, right? But at the end of the day, like I said before, the Bible has teachings that no human, no mortal can teach, because it's almost like it's backwards, but it works because it's peaceful, it's kind, it's loving, right? And that's how things should be. And once you follow that, you start seeing results. You start seeing character development into people. And again, it's not just me, it's loved ones. So that's what keeps me faithful, because I realize this is more than the religion. This is more than, it's like I said in the beginning, it's a relationship with Jesus. That is unbeatable. It is unbeatable. You will never be alone. You always have someone to go to. You always have someone that listens, someone that answers you and helps you, right? And it's just take care of those important things first, and then earthly, worldly possessions come later. So that's what keeps me faithful.